Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show. To talk about some more NBA news. So we're gonna get right to it here because there's quite a few topics that I want to get into from the NBA Central thing. So first thing I'm gonna get into is people around the league are not expecting Zach LaVine to finish his 5-year contract with the Chicago Bulls per NBC Sports. So, remember Zach LaVine, he signed that big 5-year contract with the Chicago Bulls, and there's many people around the league, they're not going to expect him to finish his full 5-year contract with Chicago Bulls, because people are thinking the Bulls are going to blow it up, rebuild, get rid of their big three or whatever, mid three. I think some people out there would want him because he's a big time scorer. His defense isn't the best, but he's a big time scorer. I mean, I feel like he's a great player, but they're just an atrocious franchise right now, to be honest. But he's kind of inconsistent at times, yes, I get that, but some players are inconsistent like that, but they can still be really good. He's just kind of a streaky player at times, but I feel like it's going to happen. I feel like he's going to get traded or sometime soon by the Chicago Bulls. I really don't think they want to keep him the whole time. I just don't know if they're going to keep all three of those players. Vucevic, DeRozan, and LaVine. I think LaVine will be the first one to go. I think all three of them will go eventually. I think they're going to just break them up. But he's also kind of injury prone too. But he's getting moved, and Chicago's really just got to start over because they're not going to be much better than 500 with this current core. When you have a backcourt to him and DeMar, it's kind of hard to leave, but I feel like they should just do it. Jaylen Brown said before Game 6 tonight in Miami, quote, "We believe that we're the better team in this series," end quote, Jaylen Brown. Basically what the Celtics have been saying since they were down 3-0. I mean, they had the roster depth, the regular season record, the seeding. They went down 3-0, but now they've started to play a lot better. But going 2-1 against a rebuilding team is quite impressive. It's the famous last words. But they got a chance to prove it tonight. This quote is very big for Jaylen Brown if they lose tonight. If they win, they're going to win this series. We just got to see what happens in Game 6 tonight. So, per The Athletic, the Dallas Mavericks are not planning to help Kyrie Irving in a potential sign and trade. So, they are not going to plan to help Kyrie Irving. If he wanted to sign and trade, they're not going to help him in that potential deal. People say, "Oh, Mark Cuban's such a loser." But this is actually smart because he won't give you good players for nothing like the rest of the league. The Mavs can open $30 million in cap space. They could sign Jeremy Grant, say, or Chris Middleton. Why would they take D'Lo and Lakers trash players? Lakers are just a spoiled fan base because they want Kyrie, but the Mavericks are just not going to take trash players in return. And the Mavericks are still going to compete. They're still going to compete for a championship. Some Lakers fans are just so fucking spoiled. I guess, I don't know what, I saw he could leave in free agency and get nothing. But D'Lo was worse than something. So, you wouldn't want to help somebody in your own conference. And nobody wants a D'Angelo Russell. Okay? And because the Mavericks probably want to re-sign Kyrie Irving as well. So, that's probably also why they don't want to help him, or not planning to help him in a potential sign and trade. ESPN, they have a trade idea between the San Antonio Spurs and the Orlando Magic. San Antonio Spurs received Paulo Banchero, Jalen Suggs, 2 first-round picks in 2023, number 6 and number 11 overall. The Orlando Magic would get the 2023 number 1 overall pick and get Victor Wembanyama. What? What? This is a terrible idea. What the fuck is this? If I'm either front office, I'm saying, nah, I'm good. If I'm the Magic, I'm saying, I'm keeping my Rookie of the Year, feature of the franchise, Paul Banchero. I'll keep Jalen Suggs, and I'll keep these 2 first-round picks to get some good young talent. Some more young talent on this team. But there's no way that number 1 picks gets traded. People have to realize how much money is coming with Wemby. I don't even think San Antonio would trade that pick for a young established star. Like, you know how good Luka is, and Wemby might never reach those heights, but you never know. It's something you just can't trade. And the games will sell out fast when you have Victor. LeBron's former teammate, quote, "There's no way in hell that LeBron's leaving without a farewell tour." Yeah, we know, y'all, we know. We know he's going to have a farewell tour, basically, for his last season. Lee Clout Chaser back at it again, but no one is shocked. No one's shocked. Gilbert Arenas. He says the Warriors are trying to move Jordan Poole. Quote, "If I'm going to try and move him, and maybe I can move him, I can get Jaylen Brown, question mark, end quote. Why would Boston do this to get rid of Jaylen Brown just to pick up Jordan Poole? I mean, Gilbert Arenas isn't really a source. He's just speaking from the Warriors' perspective, and he didn't say they would. He was kind of just speaking from the Warriors' perspective. They absolutely would, in my opinion. I don't think it would happen. I could keep dreaming if that could happen. Get Jaylen Brown on the Warriors. That would be a nice addition, but yeah, it's probably not going to happen. Scottie Pippen had a very interesting comment here. LeBron James will be the greatest statistical player to ever play the game of basketball. Michael Jordan was a horrible player. Quote, Scottie Pippen. I don't even know. We know why he's mad. Because he's the only reason he's relevant in NBA is because of Michael Jordan. And MJ scored 28 points per game on 51% shooting in his rookie season. Okay? And without him, and Scottie Pippen without Michael Jordan, he's 1-9 without Michael Jordan. Just saying. Like, did MJ hurt someone in his family or something? Like, damn, like, goddamn. This dude literally called Michael Jordan a horrible player. Like, are you serious? Dude has way too many negative things to say about the dude responsible for helping make his entire career. Like, yes, he was a great defender, obviously, but outside of that, what has he done? I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. I'm not going to read this. It's how the Lakers could realistically complete a sign and trade deal for Kyrie Irving, but I'm not even going to get into it. I'm just going to say it wouldn't be worth it, because it'd be a headache in the locker room. Okay, so that's all for the NBA Central. Let's go to Woj here. So we got some news from Woj. So, ESPN sources, the Milwaukee Bucks are planning to hire Toronto Raptors assistant Adrian Griffin as the franchise's next head coach. The sides are progressing on terms of an agreement, per Adrian Wojnarowski. And this is not a surprise. There's some finalists that had been narrowed down to, like, Adrian Griffin and some others. And ultimately the Milwaukee Bucks have chose Adrian Griffin. And the last, this is a good hire in my opinion. I like this. And I think Giannis picked him, so if Giannis believed in him, then I think this is a good hire. I thought they would get Nick Nurse, but I think this is a good hire as well, with Adrian Griffin. And I think he's a good coach. And he returns to the place where he started as an assistant. Now he's a head coach. I think he'll be pretty good. In my opinion. Great move. He's definitely earned. I think he deserves an opportunity. And they are beginning work on financial terms of a contract with Griffin, and a deal is expected to be reached soon. They'll make Griffin the franchise's next head coach, sources said. And I think this is a W. People that think this is a bad signing don't know good coaching, because he's a good coach. He's going back to the team they started as an assistant coach. I think this is a good hire, in my opinion. The NBA's fitness to play panel has cleared Kansas State guard / forward Keontae Johnson, which will allow him to be selected in June for the NBA draft. His agents Mark Bartelstein and Ross Arroyo of Priority Sports told ESPN, this is some great news. I remember a few years ago he had that incident, like his heart, but luckily, he was able to come back and play basketball for Kansas State. Had a really great season, really great player as well. Just W, what a story. And he's a pretty talented player. And hopefully the Warriors could draft him, because I think he's a really good player, can be a key part of a team for our future. Could be a good part of our future. And he's a true athlete with heart. And hopefully the Warriors could draft him, because he's currently like a late first round pick projected. So I'd like to see the Warriors draft him. He could be part of our young core. And he had that heart condition, but luckily he was able to resume his career at Kansas State and had a pretty good season. ESPN sources: Los Angeles Clippers GM Michael Winger has agreed to become the president of Monumental Basketball, which delivers his full leadership of the Washington Wizards. Winger will also oversee the WNBA Mystics and G League Go-Go. So welcome to the Wizards there, Mr. Michael Winger. So, I kind of don't know who this is, really. Maybe he's good at drafting, but the Clippers have been awful at drafting, so the Wizards might be awful at drafting, too. But now that the Clippers don't have a GM now, Bob Myers, if he's not with the Warriors, if he doesn't stay with the Warriors, maybe he'll go to the Clippers. We'll just have to see what happens going forward. So now he's leaving as the Clippers GM to run the Washington Wizards. The Phoenix Suns, ESPN sources say, are advancing 4 coaches to meet for interviews in the coming days. Nick Nurse, Doc Rivers, Kings associate head coach Jordi Fernandez, and Suns associate head coach Kevin Young. If the Suns hire Doc Rivers, you might as well just end the franchise, because you won't be winning a championship for a few years. So they're having Nurse, Rivers, and 2 associate head coaches to meet this week. Igor Kokoskov has signed a deal to become Quinn Snyder's top assistant with the Atlanta Hawks, sources tell ESPN. He spent years as Suns head coach, previously worked for Snyder on the Jazz and Missouri staffs, so he basically hired him as the assistant because he's worked with him on the Utah Jazz. So they're getting the band back together over there. Basically. Yeah, I think that's it. So, yeah, that's all for this video. So, until next time, have a lot. Peace.